Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're in an 8-4 Shadows over Innistrad draft. I think I know what pick I'm going to take here. Yeah, probably just call the Bloodline. We got Confirmed Suspicions, which is a fine spell. I mean, it's a good counter spell, yeah. And Confront the Unknown, which is good. Throttle, which is fine. Rancid Rats. Not really passing anything nuts here, so just a really nice first pick and call the Bloodline. Hopefully find a Indulgent Aristocrat and really go off, but good with madness cards in general, so let's just take it. Okay, what now? I don't think Anguished Unmaking's all that great. It's okay. I don't like paying 3 life for stuff. I'd rather have a Bound by Moonsilver, probably. There's not a black card in here I care about. Hermit of the Natter Knolls is good. I probably like the Bound by Moonsilver a little bit more, though. I like that you can move it around. And you can, like, sack a Vamp to move it around. Just kind of sweet, actually. Yeah, I don't see anything else in here that's insane. Like, there's a couple good red cards, and, you know, red-black, a vampire-themed thing would be good, but I'm just going to take this Bound by Moonsilver. Okay, well, Thraben Inspector is very good in white. There's nothing else in here that's insane, actually. Vampire Noble's fine. Unruly Mob's kind of good with the Call the Bloodline. I kind of like that, actually. But I like Inspector more. I think, yeah, I like paying 1 mana, 1/2, and get Investigative. Been pretty impressed with this card. Traverse the Ulvenwald. I mean, it's cool. It's not bad. I don't think it's busted, though. Black-green Delirium is a thing, though. Kind of requires you to have a creature worth searching up. I think I'm just going to take the Inspector here. I like having a low-curve deck anyway, so it's kind of perfect. I like Vessel a lot. There's a Fevered Visions in here. Uninvited Geist, both of which are fine. I think I like the Vessel more than the Unruly Mob. I'd rather have some evasiveness. I like the Vessel of Ephemera quite a bit. And I think I'm pretty sure I like it more than an Unruly Mob. Could be Black's getting cut, in which case the Call to Bloodline doesn't work out, but we'll see. Okay, well, here's a Delirium Enabler. We have Morkrut Necropod, which actually looks pretty good in this deck already. A lot of stuff we can sack to it. You can only sack creature or lands, I guess, but still. This card's actually pretty good. It's a late, well, not a late Insolent Neonate. I could take the Unruly Mob. It's not like an amazing card. It's certainly a fine card, though. I may prefer the Necropod. Like I said, this card is pretty good. This is a solid finisher. And once you even get to 6 mana, a 7/7 Menace is not easily taken care of. It is 6 mana. I think I'm going to take it, though. Okay, well, Wildfield Scarecrow is good for Delirium and mana fixing. Otherwise, there's Mutation. This requires Wolves and Werewolves. I might just take the Scarecrow. I could splash, maybe. It's fine. I might end up with some Delirium. And nothing else in here is terribly exciting. Mutation and Stallion are both playable, but Scarecrow has some high upside in the right deck. Well, we've got a 7th pick Logger. Couple black cards that are playable. A Stern Constable, which is, you know, it's decent. Logger seems like the best card. But I could take the Mutation. Just a fine trick. Not a great one, but certainly a playable one. Good on Necropod, probably. Alright, we'll take it. Second Necropod. Well, I'm going to take the Accomplice over the second one. I like the Accomplice a lot. Great card. Okay, wow. So some good options here. Rancid Rats and another Accomplice. Well, Accomplice has good human synergies, which this deck could still capitalize on with, like, the... What's its face? Why can't I think of the equipment now? I've played it a few times. +1/+1 Vigilance and an additional +1 if it's human. I think I'd probably take the Rats here just for diversity's sake. I still really like the Rancid Rats. I like the Accomplice a lot too. I just like being able to peck away evasively and also like trade with anything. None of these cards are really good. I guess we could take the behind the scenes if we're in black-white. Potentially play it. We've got a lot of... Actually, I mean, it's like Call the Bloodline. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Behind the scenes, this seems like if any deck was going to play it, this definitely seems like the right one. So I could take Foul Orchard for a green splash, and I have the Wildfield Scarecrow. I don't really care that much about Vampire Noble. I feel like it's probably pretty replaceable for the most part. I'll take the Orchard just in case there's a green splash, because we also have the Wildfield Scarecrow. I'm going to take the Resolve here. Resolve definitely seems good. All right. Malignity. We're going to let someone have the blue one to indicate that we don't need it. So, oddly enough, started black. It felt like black was getting cut. We took white. And then it ended up white got pretty cut. So, and black was open again. So we're still maneuvering this draft. We may not actually be in white. I guess we could still be in green for that reason. In which case I should have taken the Delirium Vessels, I guess. Although Always Watching is... It's kind of unfortunate because we have these token producers, but it's still such a strong card. Near Heath Chaplain might even be better, now that I think about it. Chaplain is so good. Like, this has the best white common, the best white uncommon, and not the best white rare. That's obviously Avacyn, but a good white rare. Like, it's good with... I'm pretty... I don't know if I want the Chaplain or the Always Watching. Chaplain is so good. Such a good card. I feel as though Chaplain might be better than Always Watching, but that is really difficult to say. Like, just the fact that we have a couple token cards does make it a little bit less sexy. And Chaplain is just always going to be good. I'm going to go with the Chaplain. That's a tough one. That was a real tough pick. Companion's fine. Parish Blade, I guess, is good if you can get your Delirium online. We have the means to do that. We have enchantments, instants, artifacts, creatures. Parish Blade seems like a good card for that. I actually think Companion's not bad either, though. There's no good black card in here. We're just going to take the Parish Blade. Kindly Stranger is fantastic. Sinister Concoction is very good. So now we're going further down a white-black Delirium path. I still think we can make that work. Our removal is not great. We do have the Bound by Moonsilver, which is good, but that's it. So I'd like the Concoction and the Purge, but Kindly Stranger... I'm trying to think how easily we can get Delirium. It's a real question. Because we don't have any sorceries. We do have enchantments, creatures, and instants. And potentially lands with, like, Call the Bloodline. And Scarecrow. Yeah, that's a little bit difficult. I mean, Kindly Stranger is insane, though, if you can get Delirium. I think we're going to take the Stranger and hope we can still make this Delirium thing work. Okay, Compulsion and Revenant. I probably want the Compulsion. We're just removal light enough, and we have Evasion, which makes the Compulsion a lot better. It also is a sorcery, which our deck really wants for Delirium, so it seems like the obvious pick, actually, for us. Our curve is looking fantastic. Well, we have Accomplice and Inspiring Captain. Inspiring Captain is good with our token stuff. Like Call the Bloodline and Inspiring Captain seems like the real deal sort of thing maybe to work towards. It is just a one-time effect, though. But it still might be worth it. Otherwise, I'd take a second Ghoul Caller's Accomplice. This card is always good, definitely. I think I'm going to go for a Captain here, though. We have some tokens. It seems like this is a deck that could actually utilize it. Chaplain, too, when it dies. All right. We'll take the Captain. I think that could actually pan out in this deck. Well, Macabre Waltz gives us a, well, returns creatures, which I guess we don't have a ton of insane ones to return. But it does also fuel Delirium, and we still have time to find more nuts creatures, so I'll take it. I guess it works with Madness, too, sort of. Although, not with the Madness we have. That's all right. It's still good, and I don't really care about Warped Landscape, so. All right, To the Slaughter is playable. We could take a Ghoul Caller's Accomplice. I don't like sack creature effects as much. I may just want the Accomplice. Our curve is looking pretty low. Like, this deck could probably get away with 16 lands, I think. Just because we have, like, infinite 2-drops going right now. To the Slaughter's fine, I guess. But I kind of want some more creatures. I'm going to take the Accomplice. I think To the Slaughter's fine, but I'm not in love with sack effects. I could take the Constable here. Crawling Sensation would have been good alongside the Call of Bloodline. It's kind of cool. Discard a land on your opponent's turn and get a 1/1. It's a nice. I saw that deck in action. It was pretty good. I'm going to take the Constable here. Well, looks like we got one anyway. I may just want to hate the Scavenger here. Because it blocks. I don't need multiple Constables. I'm not even sure if we're on board with the first one yet. Shambleback is... It's hard to sideboard into that stuff. It's okay. I'm going to take the Scavenger. Alright, mutation number 2. I'm okay with that. Inquisitor's Ox is also a thing. I don't know. I don't love this card. I think it's okay, though. I mean, we're trying to, I guess, put a Delirium deck together, so it's an option. But I just don't love it that much. All right. You know, Alms of the Vein. I don't know how aggressive we are yet. It's okay. I mean, it's cool with, like, Call the Bloodline, I guess, but I certainly don't need Magnifying Glass. That's a really late Confront the Unknown. I can just hate this card, too. I'm not going to play Alms of the Vein, to tell the truth. I'm just going to, even though it is a sorcery, I'm just going to hate this Confront the Unknown. That card is really good. That's a late Farbog Revenant. We're going to take it. I really like that card a lot. And Survive the Night is, for the most part, replaceable. Indignation, well, maybe. Not very likely, though. I think we're going to let someone have a Snapper. We're not really worried about that. So we could still theoretically play 16 lands in this deck. I think that's probably going to happen. I don't need to main deck a Vessel of Malignity. Ever After is something. I can take the Topplegeist. That might be the best card because we can still get Delirium going, and tapping down their best guy is quite good. We don't have any equipment for Missionary. There's Puncturing Light too, but I think Topplegeist seems good. I think we can tempo people fairly well with this deck. And I think we can get Delirium, not easily, but I think we can make it happen. Especially with, like, the Bound by Moonsilver, too. Like, we have enough different types of spells where I think we can make this work. Let's probably ditch the Indignation. All right, well, Dreadnought is kind of a one-man army, so we can take that. Not really, well, I was going to say not really giving up much, but Angelic Purge would be a really good pick, too. It fuels Delirium so well. What's our Delirium spells? We have Topplegeist and Paranoid Parish Blade and Kindly Stranger. So we have 3 that kind of want it. Purge is good. It's tough to deny the value of Purge, but Dread Knight is, like I said, a one-man killing machine, and it flies. I'm gonna take the Dread Knight. All right, Apothecary Geist also flies. There's Forsaken Sanctuary, which is fixing for this deck. Not that it desperately needs it, but certainly wouldn't hurt. I think Apothecary Geist is fine, though. We actually have some spirits in here, too. We've got a Toppelgeist, Vessel. We may just straight up have enough spirits where I want this Apothecary Geist. It also flies. I think I'm going to take it. Hope to wield the Expose Evil or the land. Is Cryptolith Rite worth anything? Isn't it like played in that black-green standard deck or whatever? It's only worth like close to 2 tickets. I'm going to take the Apothecary Geist. Geese's Bidding is fantastic. Definitely going to take that. I love this card. It's just good value. Great value off Call the Bloodline. But Crow of Dark Tidings would be a good Madness enabler, and Emissary of the Sleep Bliss is playable, but definitely taking Geese's Bidding. What's our cut now? Now we actually have to start making cuts. So I guess Macabre Waltz looks okay. Maybe Merciless Resolve. This card is fine, though, but I don't know. I'm not sure if we need it. Curve kind of went up a little bit with this pack. Yeah, now I might need to actually play 17 lands. Not that I have a huge issue with that. Like, I can ditch Constable pretty easily. Wicker Witch. We've got enough Delirium now where I probably just want this guy. I can still play the Scarecrow, though, too. Scarecrow actually looks good in here because we have a lot of evasion now. I think it holds down the fort pretty well. Maybe Wicker Witch isn't good enough. Bloodsworn is something. What does Sanitarium Skeleton work with? I guess it works with Call the Bloodline, so that might be a loan. People keep telling me I underrate this, so otherwise I could take Olivia's Bloodsworn Flies, which is good. I like it, but I see the value with Skeleton, so I can take it for Call the Bloodline. Does let you... I mean, the thing is, with Call the Bloodline, you pretty much go infinite anyway. Is there... I mean, you can discard it to Macabre Waltz, I guess. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll take it. Yuri Interlude. Well, that's not that good. Here's a second Skeleton. This guy's actually just good. Is there anything else I need a Skeleton for? If we'd gotten... I guess it works with Dreadnought. Yeah. Playing multiple just seems... I guess it works with Necropod. I mean, it does have synergies. It's just not insane. It's fine, though. I'm okay with it. I don't need any of this, I guess, so I can take a second one. All right, Accomplice Wheeling is nice. We're going to take and play it. So I can lower our curve to the point where I can make this a 16 land deck pretty easily, actually, I think. I'm pretty sure. Ooh, got the Sanctuary back. That's sweet. Skeleton Key does enable some... I might actually want this Ethereal Guidance now. This actually looks like a deck that could rock it with Call of Bloodline. I'm going to take it. That might just happen. All right, our curve is ridiculously low. I think we're going to go for 16 lands. Doesn't look like anybody's a spell deck if Pyrehound went that far. So if we're going to play 16 lands, some things have to happen. We have to cut a boatload of cards, and I think we start with the Necropod just to lower the curve. And we probably cut the Emissary and just keep the Dreadnought at the top. And then we just decide on what else we want to cut. So probably Survive the Night gets the boot. Wildfield Scarecrow is not really what you want to do in aggro anymore. And I'd rather have the Wicker Witch to beat down with since Scarecrow can't attack. I think Scarecrow's a better card, but they both enable Delirium equally, right? I guess this goes to your graveyard right away. Well, you can make it go to your graveyard, but... you can pretty much make Wicker Witch go to your graveyard. Murderous Compulsion's not really what I want in an aggro deck either, but it is one of our few sorceries, which makes me like it more. I think we're going to cut one skeleton. I don't have bombs to... I think I'm going to cut the Scarecrow. I don't have bombs to bring back with Macabre Waltz. I could cut it. It kind of... Like, what are my bombs? I bring back a Dreadnought. I bring back... I don't want to bring back a Chaplain, right? I don't really want to bring back, like, a Rancid Rats. Topplegeist, I guess, is a pretty decent one to bring back. I think I still want this behind the scenes, because we have so many low-power creatures where I think this card could actually do something. Especially with Call the Bloodline. It lets you just, it makes them all unblockable, essentially. Yeah, I could see that being good, actually. Our creature power level is so low. I think I'm going to cut the Macabre Waltz. So I could run it like this, a 16-land deck. We still have 1, 2, 3 sorceries. 1, 2, well, this goes to your graveyard, this won't. So really we only have like 1 enchantment. We have some instants though that push through damage too, which is nice. We have enough creatures. This counts as a creature, this counts as a creature. So we really have like 17 creatures. This deck looks okay to me actually. I think I could run it like this and be comfortable. Our curve is just so low. It's like all 2s. I think we can get Delirium online. I'm not positive on that, but I think we can make it happen in here. And as much as, I mean, Scarecrow is a great Delirium enabler, but the problem is, like I said, it can't attack. And this deck really does look aggressive now. Like, we look like an aggressive build. We can just put a bunch of creatures out there and then evade with Behind the Scenes, or buff with Ethereal Guidance, or I guess we're a little bit Removal Light. Is that right? Compulsion's still fine in here aggressively, I guess. Not really aggressively, but instant speed with Call the Bloodline's nice. We've got some evasion too. I guess this is the deck. So we want more black than white, but we want white early, so I think we're just going to do like this, which makes it 9/8, which seems fine to me. So yeah, good deck. I don't know how high to rate this deck, but I like it. I think it looks cool. We're going to get a chance to try out Behind the Scenes too, which I like. I think I like in this deck. It seems like it's pretty good. I like the buff effect too, potentially, late game, if we get to that point. So we'll see how well it beats down. I like that the accomplices can just trade and it doesn't matter. Yeah, I want to put this deck in B territory. I feel like curve-wise, it's doing great. Bomb-wise, Dreadnought's a bomb. I feel like Chaplain's almost a bomb. This card seems bomb-worthy. I know that seems strange, but just the fact that it's like multiple bodies and lifelink, it's just really good. And we have Call the Bloodline for late game, so it seems to have all the components that you would want for a deck that can beat down quick or do stuff in the late game. So I like it. We're gonna give it a B. Our removal, I guess, takes a little bit of points away because our removals, we just don't have a ton of it. But we may have enough. I'll give it an 86% like our last Vampire deck. I feel like it's comparable. The curve is better. The bombs may be slightly better. But overall, like, high power level is a little bit lower. So, all right. I've spoken enough. Let's do this. We'll see you round 1.